Joining us as he does from time to time this morning to talk about the markets is David Brochu from Strategic Point Investments. Always good to see you.
You too.
So where are we this week? Because we saw the numbers before we came into the segment. All three arrows were down. That's not the way you want to start the day.
No, but it's to be expected. The market's been drunk on excess stimulus now for some time, and just like a drunk, it can get a little carried away from time to time. So it's going to be a bit before you see any kind of real stability settle in.
And we have a couple of reports out both tomorrow and today, in fact.
Yes, we'll have weekly jobless claims today, but the big one's tomorrow. The non-farm payrolls that comes out every month will come out tomorrow. And we're looking for some indication that the job losses are moderating. Now, that doesn't mean it's getting better. It just means instead of losing 700,000 or 600,000, we're actually looking for sub 400,000 jobs lost for the previous month. Now, that's still terrible, but it's somewhat less terrible.
Right. For some reason now the word stabilization actually is a positive word these days.
We would very much be looking for stabilization. What's going on right now is the Fed is flooding the economy with money, and not just our Fed, but the rest of the world too. And we've done this before. We've been doing this for 20 and 25 years, pouring cash into the system, and that can temporarily provide a boost. Now, how long the government continues to pour that money in is a big question mark, and can we survive without it is the big one.
Did you think there'd be a bigger boost than there was, especially with this Cash for Clunkers program and all these highway projects that are, popping up all across even southern New England?
I would have hoped with the money they were going to spend, they would have spent it better. Once the bills came out, no, we didn't at that point expect anything better to happen, because the way the bills were structured, they were simply filling the holes that existed. Right. They did work in one degree, and I think a lot of people miss this, and that is they did keep the states from having to reduce their employment dramatically. And that's good and bad. Obviously, we want to see costs dropped at the state level, but we don't want to see 30,000 people out on the street. So that stimulus money went into the state coffers and allowed the state governments to keep from laying a lot of people off. So that part was very, very positive.
Right. And the Cash for Clunkers program, which has been hugely popular, they're going to vote on Capitol Hill today, likely pass $2 billion more for the program. How will that affect the economy?
It's ridiculous foolishness. Yeah, it's good for car sales, and that's nice. But the amount of money in question is a drop in the bucket. It's $2–3 billion in this $14 trillion economy. It's irrelevant. It doesn't even matter. It's just a nice thing to be able to say they're doing. Does it boost car sales? Sure it does. Absolutely. Right. If I give you $4,500 to buy a car, hey, all right, that's great. Right. But you're scrapping cars that are good. You're taking sales from the future. And ultimately, it's just not enough. Better to just send people some money. If they're going to start printing money like this, cut taxes, get rid of a payroll tax, send out a check, let people spend the money, and people will buy cars anyway. We like cars in this country. We do it anyway.
Right. David Brochu, always good to talk with you about the markets. We'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Now let's go over to the